Well, hello everybody. This is Dr. Saundra coming to you live tonight with Impact Training. I know it takes a few minutes for Facebook to build an audience, so I come on just a few minutes earlier so that we can start promptly at 9 o'clock. So come on in if you're going to listen to our training on tonight. And tonight's training is from a question that I got earlier this week. And we're going to be talking about what it takes for you to walk mentally, spiritually, and financially in your call. So come on in. Like I said, I know it takes a few minutes, so I do start a little early, or I do come on live a little early, just so that people are able to have that audience built, or for me to build that audience, and so that people will be on when we get ready to start at 9. So come on in. This has been an exciting day. Hopefully everybody's had a great day and you're ready to have a wonderful week. I know I am. All right, I see people are joining us now. Okay, everybody's popping in now. There we go. Hello, Lisa. Hi, Darlene. How you doing? Pastor Thorne, Lisa, welcome, welcome. I see there are other people who are joining. Vanessa, welcome, welcome. Come on in, come on in. I think I have about 2 minutes before start time. 2 minutes before actual start time. Okay. Taisha, how are you doing? Welcome, welcome. I'm looking forward to speaking at your event coming up next month. I think it's next month. Yeah, next month. All right. Got a little bit too much. There we go. Hi, Patrice. How you doing? Welcome, welcome. Welcome, welcome. All right. It says they're actually, I'm not exactly sure how Facebook works. I got to figure this out because there's a big number up here when it says live and a number beside it, but it doesn't show that the names of the people as they come on. So I'm not sure if it's the people on the phone or if you're Facebooking live from your computer or what. Hey, Ladane, how you doing? How you doing? All right. Conversation starter. Okay, here we go again because it says conversation starter. It says I have 10 comments and I don't see them. All right, y'all. Let me see what's going on here. It says I have 10 comments and I don't see the comments. Okay, so let me see. Hi, Andrea. How are you? Hold on, y'all. I'm not sure what's wrong with my phone, but it's doing it again because it says there are comments. Oh, yes, I see your comments. Let me get my laptop out, y'all. Let me see what's going on. I'm not exactly sure what I have done. Whatever it is, I do it to this phone, and I can't see the, it's hard for me to see the comments that you all have. All right, so just give me a second. Let me get my laptop out. I have it out, but let me get my, let me get on Facebook here so I can actually see your comments. I can't see your comments, and I don't know what I'm doing to not be able to see your comments. Okay, I don't want to push the wrong button. There we go. Oh, well, let me just do this till I figure it out. I thought I had it fixed last week, but evidently not. Hey, Alfreda, how are you? Okay, now here we are. Now I can see your comments on my computer. So let's see who is in here. Oh, great. You guys are saying hi. All right, wonderful. Now I see your comments. Okay, all right. Miss Neal, hey. Ladane, good and excited. Hey. Yes, ma'am. Super excited about the event coming up next month. All right, let's see. I have 901. And you have to excuse me because with the Apple, your text messages, your phone, everything rings. So hopefully my phone will not ring, but everything rings when all the Apple stuff is tied together. I used to be on a Android and had a Dell computer, but I got the iPhone, went to the iStore, and fell in love with this iMac, as you see behind me. Love it, love it, love it. All right, Lalana, welcome, welcome. Michelle, welcome, welcome. All right, my clock behind me has 9:01, and so You all, I'm going to have to go just a little bit slower than I anticipated. I see you all are joining in. Come on in. And because for some reason, if somebody can tell me how to get my comments on my phone screen. I had them on there last week. I'm not exactly sure what I did wrong. If I push comments, it doesn't come up. So I'm not exactly sure why is it that the comments, now I got rid of everything. Okay. All right. I'm not sure what it is, but I'm going to go ahead and get started because I am determined to be off of here in an hour tonight. Okay. Now, welcome everybody. My name is Dr. Saundra Williams. I'd like to welcome all of everybody who are joining us for the first time. This is Impact Training, where we teach you how to move forward in your calling, in your business, and in your career. And so I'm so excited to be with you on tonight. And I do apologize for looking up and down. I've got my laptop right here, which means because for some reason, I cannot see your comments on the screen, and I've got to look at them on my laptop. Oh, I know what I'll do. Let me do this. Excited to be with you on. All right, there we go. Now I can see. Now I can see much better. Much better. There we go. Hey, Carol, Patrice, Donna, hi, Lisa, Krisha, hello. How you doing, Sarah? Oh wow, guys, so many people on here. Okay. Christine, is that how you say your name? Christine, Kuristan. Hi, Sonia. I just see you join. Well, welcome everybody. Clock has 9:03. Let me get started. So tonight's topic is one that's very near and dear to my heart, and it is what I had to do. And I've got lots of notes for tonight. Lots and lots of notes for tonight, y'all. I got a lot of stuff to cover. So if you don't have your pencil and your a piece of paper or something that you need to write with, then please, 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 by all means, get that, because you're going to need that on tonight. Okay? So, the topic for tonight, or the teaching topic for tonight, is what I had to do financially, spiritually, and mentally to walk completely in my calling. Now, this particular topic came from one of the questions that we got in Vision Quick Start this week. In Vision Quick Start, we did a teaching on the 7 components of moving forward with your vision, or how to launch your vision. We did those. And out of that came a question. We're going to have a bigger module on that later. But the question surrounded, how long do you have to wait before you become profitable in your company? And so it's difficult to answer that particular question about becoming profitable in isolation. It's very difficult to answer that particular question about becoming profitable in isolation. Now, if any of you have ever started a business before, and again, I am looking down at my computer because for some reason I can't see your comments on the screen, on my phone screen. I'm not exactly sure why. Okay. So if any of you have ever started a business or a company, you know what I'm talking about here. Okay, I see the hearts going across my laptop. But anyway, if you have ever started a business or a company, you know that it takes a lot of work. You know, it takes a lot of work. And so what I want to do tonight is to cover with you, what does it take mentally, and what does it take financially, and what does it take spiritually? Now, we're going to start off with the spiritual part. And I'm going to tell you why we're going to start off with that. Because that's what I cover in Impact Training all the time. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time there. I want to spend more time on the mental and the financial piece. Because those two pieces mainly is where people normally miss the boat. Okay, it's where people normally miss the boat. And it's not really what you think it is. So many times people think, I've got to have all this money or I've got to have all this time. But let me tell you, if you don't have the right mindset to go into what your next is, then you're not going to go in it anyway. All right, because I will tell you, whether you are talking about a business, whether you're talking about a ministry, whether you are talking about going back to school, whether you're talking about expanding your ministry, whether you're talking about expanding your business, regardless of what you are trying to do, there are certain components that you have to have. There's a certain mindset that you have to have. And the reason that most people, and I don't want to use the word fail, but the reason that most people aren't as successful as they want to be has nothing to do with whether or not they had enough money. It has nothing to do with whether or not they had all the different pieces in place. It all has to do with the mindset that you had going into what it is that you were going to do. Okay? Now, so spiritually, I said that this topic is what I had to do financially, spiritually, and mentally to walk completely in my calling. Okay? Now, spiritually, the reason I'm not going to cover that in a lot of detail is because that's what we do in impact training every single Sunday night. Okay. Oh, and before I forget, we will not have impact training next week. Okay. Every fifth Sunday, I have to be out of town on fifth Sunday because I am the district director for Christian education for our fellowship, our church fellowship, which is about 30 some odd churches, and we all come together on fifth Sunday. And so I've got responsibilities there next week in Virginia, and I'm sure that I won't be back here in time to do the impact training. So on fifth Sunday, we take a break. For those of you that didn't know, we take a break. But I'll put that announcement in the Facebook group. Okay. So getting back to the topic. So making sure nobody's asked any questions, and I do want your questions tonight. Okay. If you have any questions, please ask. I wish I could just see this on the telephone. It will make it so much easier. I'm not exactly sure why I'm not able to see it. But anyway, I'll just keep going. So when you think about starting anything, when you think about going to your next, okay, when you think about going to the next thing that God has called you to do, you're doing something now. You know that God has called you to do something greater and something bigger, but you know some of the things you have to do. But let me tell you this much. If you don't go into it with the right mindset, and that is the right mental mindset and the right financial mindset and the right spiritual mindset, then you will not move forward. Okay? Because I found of all the women that I've worked with, all the women that are my clients, whether I work with them in a group or whether I work with people individually, and y'all have to excuse my t-shirt. As you can see, can you guys see all that work? I'm trying to hide it. I've been working hard tonight. I'm working on a new project for a company, and I have just been working really hard tonight. And so I got my stuff spread out, and I didn't want to put it back together, and I have to respray it out again. So I'm trying to cover it up so y'all can't see all these papers behind me. But anyway, so going back to the topic, when you don't have the right mindsets, then you will not be able to have the success that you're looking for. So let me give you the spiritual first. I'm not going to stay there long because that's what we do all the time in impact training. Okay, so I won't stay there long. Then mentally, I got some things I want to give you there. And then the financial part is the part that probably a lot of you joined on here for, and you really need to hear. You need to hear it. And you need to make sure that other people, you give this information to other people, or tell them to join the Vision Building Institute group, and then they can watch the replay. Okay? So now, spiritually, number one, two things under spiritual I want you to remember. And this is something that I didn't really know until, I kind of knew it, but I didn't really know it until I got into my company working truly on it. Okay, when I knew God was calling me, and I knew He was giving me something to do that was bigger than what I was doing at the time. I knew it was bigger than working at community colleges. I knew it was bigger than the ministry that I already had. I knew it was so much bigger, and it wasn't just bigger from a business standpoint, but it was also bigger from a financial standpoint. It was bigger from an emotional standpoint. It was bigger from a spiritual standpoint, because everything about me, everything that God had put into me was now going to be poured out into what He was calling me to. Now, that's one thing that you have to understand spiritually. That is that everything that God has put in you, every experience you've had, whether you feel like it was a bad experience or a good experience, everything that you have done, all of your relationships, good or bad, all of your experiences, all of your schooling, all of your education, everything that God has allowed you to do and experience. When he takes you to the next, all of that is going to be put into the next. Okay? And you've got to understand that all of that is a part of the next, and it's necessary for the next. So from a spiritual standpoint, you cannot neglect the lessons that you have learned in the past, because they are a part of your profit in your future. Got that? You cannot neglect the lessons, the experience, anything that you've had in your past, because it is part of your profit in your future. Okay? It's part of your profit in your future. So that's why I'm here to tell you tonight, thinking about profitability, you've got to think about profitability different before you start thinking about the numbers. Because the numbers are easy and the numbers will come. And I'm going to go over a quick example with the numbers, okay? I'm going to go over a quick example. But you got to remember first that your past, everything that you've had, is a part of your profitability. Profitability, okay? That's number one. Number two, under spiritually, okay? And this is something that you need to remember. When you're walking completely in your calling, whether it's in your career, whether it's in your business, whether it's in your ministry, regardless of where it is, but when you are walking completely in your calling, know that there will be spiritual attacks. Okay? There will be spiritual attacks. When God calls you to do something, then the enemy will attempt to attack you spiritually. And so what does that mean? That means that you must be sure that you read, pray, study, fast the Word of God as much as you can. All the time. I say all the time. I study. I meditate. I read every single day. Okay, that's every single day. All right. But in terms of studying, I have certain times allotted for study, because studying for me is like a 3-hour block of time, and I have to actually block that out. Okay, I actually have to block that out. All right. I see this thing is telling me that people are commenting, so I just want to make sure I'm seeing your comments. All right. If somebody can tell me what I can do to get the comments on my phone, I would appreciate it, because I don't know what's going on and why I cannot see your comments on my phone. Okay? I see them on my computer, but for some reason, I'm not seeing them on the phone. Okay? All right. Yeah, I see you saying, yeah, I see the likes going across. I see that on my computer, but only thing I can see on my phone is actually who's on here. So again, thank everybody for joining. I'll just keep going. Let me make sure I've got one thing right, so it will have all of the most recent comments at the top. Hold on just a second. Now I'm not sure what I just did. There we go. Okay, I see everybody is. Oh, wow. Okay, now I see lots of comments. Profitable paths. Thank you. Okay, I'm with y'all. If I don't answer your question, please just ask it again, because it may be going faster on the computer than I can actually see it. Okay, and I do apologize for that. All right, a profitable past. Yes, your past is a part of your profit. The next one under spiritual is that you will be under attack when you start walking in completely in your calling. Okay, I have had spiritual attacks since I have started the Vision Building Institute. I've had spiritual attacks since I've been walking completely in my calling, and I'm every day purposefully and intentionally doing what God has called me to do. I won't go into detail what those attacks are, because at this point, that's not what this particular lesson is about. But I just want you to know those things happen. The reason that we have impact training is to help you through that, to give you what you need through the week, spiritually and mentally, emotionally, all those kinds of things, so that you can continue to completely walk in your call. Okay, so that's about all I want to say from a spiritual standpoint, is that every single week we talk about those spiritual kinds of things to help you move forward with the call on your life, whether it's the call for business, the call for ministry, or the calling for your career. Okay, so now let's talk about mentally. Now, mentally, to walk completely in your calling, a couple of things I want you to know. Number one, this is something that my business mentor told me that I have taken to heart every single day. And that is to start before you are ready. Can somebody put that in the chat? I got to make sure that I can see the chats that y'all are doing. That's why I'm asking somebody to put that in the chat. Okay? Start before you are ready. Because let me tell you something. If you wait until everything that you have is 100%, if you wait until everything is perfect, then you will never, ever get started. If you wait to start the ministry, if you wait to start the company, if you wait to move to that next level of a career or start looking for that next career until everything is perfect, then it's not going to happen, because it's not going to be as perfect as you will ever want it. Okay? It won't happen that way. Let me tell you why. Because what is the actual, what we call the foundational for the Vision Building Institute? When you move, God will position you for more. So see, when you begin to move, and again, I'm looking. All right, let me do this again. I apologize, y'all. I'm not exactly sure what it is, what's going on with my computer tonight as to why I cannot see your comments live on my phone. And I don't want to get out, because then I'll lose all of you. Okay? And we've got a lot of people on tonight. Got a lot of people in the training on tonight. All right? Hold on just a second, y'all. All right. Let me get back over here. I know, y'all, this is kind of, I apologize. This is not normally what I like to do, but I don't have a choice tonight. Okay, there you go. I see y'all. Y'all, thank you. Thank you so much. Y'all are commenting. Thank you. Thank you. I see it. Start before you're ready. Thank you so much. All right, now I'm seeing that y'all are commenting. So, okay, this is going to work. All right. Thank you, Ursula. I saw where you wanted to join. I joined you in. I got you in there. So I hope you are seeing this. So now, here's the thing. So, start before you are ready. Hear this. Hear this. Hear this. Perfection prohibits progress. Okay? If you try to be perfect, perfection will prohibit your progress. You will not get everything perfect. If I try to get everything perfect before I start, even if I try to get impact training perfect, okay? I even tried to, I said I wanted a certain look for impact training. But you know what? Impact training is where I have been sitting at my desk. I'm answering questions. I'm answering your questions live. And if I would have waited until I got all my lessons planned out and all the questions in and everything else, then I would have never started. I would have never started impact training. All right. Now, what I'm not telling you, what I'm not saying is that you wait or you go ahead and start and you don't have a plan in place. Because I have a plan for impact training. There are plans for other kinds of things that I have in my company. All right. But what I'm trying to tell you is, don't wait. If God is telling you it's time for you to go to a new career, or it's time for you to leave the job that you're in, don't wait until you actually get everything in a row, all your ducks in a row. Don't wait to get one more year experience before you start looking. Look now. Look today. Get started doing something towards what God has said. All right? Because if you wait, again, perfection prohibits progress. If you wait until everything is perfect, then you'll never get started. So start before you are ready. And that's a mental thing, because so many times we always tell ourselves that we want to be perfect. We always say that we want everything perfect. All right. Well, to get everything perfect, then we may not be able to get things the way we want it right now. All right. You may not be able to do that. You may not be financially ready to have everything perfect. Okay. So that's why when God gives you something, when he tells you to move, when he says to start a particular business, do some work towards it. That's a mental thing. It has nothing to do with, because you'll tell yourself, I don't have the time, I don't have the money, I don't have the know-how, I don't have the support, I. You know why I know you say that? Because I said it. I said it 1,000 times. I said it too many times. All right? And now I look, and I will start something, even if it's nothing more than begin to do my Google research, beginning to do my searching online. If there's something, an idea that I have, I might call someone and run that idea past them and see what they say. Or I might put out a survey to a group. I might do a Facebook ad just to see, how people are looking at that particular idea. All right. But I'm telling you to start before you are ready, because when God puts it in your heart, you've got to start. Otherwise, you'll be miserable. You'll be miserable because you'll be frustrated because you're not doing that thing that God has called you to do. All right. Now, the second one, I want you to, I'm still on the mentally. Got two major ones under here. I want you to change the way that you think about you. Okay. Change the way that you think about you. I want you to write two words down. I want you to write down the word visionary, and then I want you to write down the word victim. Write the word vision here and victim over here. Vision, victim, vision, victim. Do that while I check the questions, okay? Do that while I check questions. All right? Great, okay. Y'all are commenting. I just can't see it live. I'm not exactly sure why I cannot see this as it is happening. All right. Hold on just a second, y'all. Gonna make this work. There we go. Okay. Change the way you think about you. You wrote down vision, victim. Now, very quickly, I want you to circle the one that you think you are. Are you a visionary or are you a victim? I want you to circle the one that you think you are. 2 seconds. Take it. Circle it. All right. I'm looking at the comments while you're circling. All right. Thank y'all for all these great comments. I apologize I can't see them on the phone. All right. Oh, y'all are just going. Oh, Roberta's telling me to keep talking and you'll check out the tech issue. Thank you. Because I can see it on my computer, but I can't see it on the phone, Roberta. Okay. All right. So, vision, victim. Now, if you circled victim, I want you to think about the following. I want you to get that out of your mind. And if you circle visionary, I want you to begin to think about it. I want you to think about something. Now, here's what I want you to think about. First of all, everybody on this particular impact training is a visionary. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here. Otherwise, you would not be here. I had to think of myself as a visionary. All right? Now, people say, well, Saundra, that's easy for you. You got the accolades, you got the degrees, you got this, you have that. So it's easy for you to think of yourself as a visionary. No, it's not. It's easy when you're in something and you're doing something. It was easy in my job to see myself as a visionary because of the work that I did. But something that had not been created yet, that was a little difficult. Because I really couldn't see where it was going. Where was God going to take it? Where was God going to take me in all this? So seeing yourself as a visionary can be hard. But I want, in order for you to walk completely in your calling, before you even get to the finance part, you can't even get to the finance part until you can see yourself for what you are. You can't even get dollars. Why would people even invest in your vision if you don't see yourself as a visionary to begin with? Why would people partner with you if you don't see yourself as a visionary? All right. So when someone calls me a visionary, sometimes I used to get a little bit like, are people calling me? Why are people calling me that? I just kind of want to be humble, and that sort of thing. And that's fine. And I can still be humble. And I am humble. Okay? You had to reset your phone? Okay? Oh, I see. I may need to reset my phone before I do this again. Okay, I'll do that. Michelle, thank you. All right. I'll do that. Okay? So, I'm just making sure. Oh, y'all, I tell you what. I'm not sure what's going on here. But anyway, I'm just going to have to keep going. And I tell you what, I'm going to keep going because it's just bothering me that this is, you know what, you know why, y'all know why this is happening, don't you? Because the enemy does not want this information to get out. The enemy wants you to stay stuck, and I'm determined that you will not stay stuck on tonight. So I bind the enemy up in the name of Jesus. I bind the enemy up because he is attempting to distract me from getting this information out. So you know what? I am going to just teach this. Whatever questions y'all have, y'all put your questions in here, and I'm going to go back and I'm going to look at all the questions before we get off, and I'll get them answered. But for right now, I got to stay focused on what I'm teaching, okay? I got to stay focused. That's nothing to do with y'all. I just had to recognize just that quick what the enemy was trying to do in terms of stopping this information from getting out. So he will not have victory in this place, not now, not ever. All right, so now let's roll, y'all. Okay. Now, yes, I haven't gotten mad at the devil. That's what happens when I get mad at the devil. All right. So now we talked about start before you're ready. And then the next one was change the way you think. See yourself as a visionary. And I don't care if somebody tells you that the vision is too small. Okay. I want you to continue to see yourself as a visionary. You have to see yourself as a visionary. You have to see yourself as what God is calling you to do. Okay. Now, because when you operate from a place of vision, then abundance will come. Somebody write that down. When you operate from a place of vision, from a place of being able to see what no one else can see, then abundance will come. All right? You got that? When you operate from a place of vision, that is, you're able to see something that others cannot see, then abundance will come. Because you will have a plan, and you can move forward with the plan. I'm trying to go slow here because I want y'all to get this. This is so very important, because this is important before you even start thinking about money. Okay? You can't start thinking about money until you have your mindset ready for the money that is going to come. You can't. All right? Because if you don't have the right mindset, then you can't handle the abundance when it comes. You can't handle the profitability when the profitability comes if you don't have your mindset right. Okay? So now, I want you to make sure that you see yourself as a visionary. You think from a place of vision, and the abundance will come when you think from a place of vision. When you operate from that perspective, all right, then let me tell you something that's going to happen. This kind of goes back to spiritual. When you operate from a place of vision and the abundance begins to come, then you will begin to see that other people will not want to be around you because you are intimidating them, because they're not operating from the same place that you are. Soak it in. Let it soak. Let it come in. You got that? If you got that, give me some hearts. Let me know that you got that. Because see, one thing about walking completely in your call is that everybody cannot be there with you, and they cannot operate there with you, because what you have done when you said, yes, I'll walk completely in my call, then you have now put yourself in a place where they are afraid to go. And I used to be really feel kind of sad about that. I used to feel like, oh my goodness, Lord, should I kind of bring myself back down? And God got me in check really quickly. I'm not sure what's grammatically correct there. Really quick or really quickly. All right. But God got me in check fast. All right. He let me know that why he created me, and just like he created every single one of you, he created all of us to walk from a place of abundance, to walk from a place of vision, and most importantly, God created us to walk from a place of more, M-O-R-E. And so that's why I say that when you move, God will position you for more. All right? So those are the two things under mentally. Number one, start before you're ready. All right? You got that one. And then number two, change the way you think about yourself. Stop thinking about yourself as a victim. So what does that mean? That means no more fear. That means no more doubt. That means no more worrying about what God has called you to do and about what other people are thinking about what you're doing. That means no more negative thoughts to yourself. Okay? That means stop being critical about yourself. That means stop saying, I don't have time. Okay? I taught a class yesterday at Destiny International Ministries at their, at Dr. Shirley R. Brown's Apostolic Training Center. And I taught a class on the 7 pillars of balance. And we talked about balance not being a function of time. And I can't go into that in this particular Facebook Live here. But one of the things I told them is that everybody has the same amount of time. Same amount of time every day. Everybody has it. All right? So stop saying that you don't have time. It's the choices that you make that will determine it. And those choices that you make are based on your mindset. They're based on what you're saying that you will do or you will not do. Okay? And here's another one that you have to get past mentally, or you will never be profitable, or you will never see the abundance. And that is, you've got to stop procrastination. Okay? Because procrastination will kill you. Procrastination will kill what God is trying to do, or what God has called you to do. Because remember, God will call you to do something. All right? But you have to do it. All right? God will call you to do something, but you have to do it. Let me say that one more time. God will call you to do something, but you have to do the work. And if you don't do the work because you're procrastinating, and where does procrastination come from? You'll say, well, I've got to get my website up. Well, I'll wait until I get the right degree. Well, I'll wait until I get ordained, or I get a specific office in the church. Well, I'll wait on this. Well, I'll wait on that. Well, you know what? You're going to keep waiting and waiting and procrastinating, and then the assignment that God had for you, He's going to say, fine, you don't do it, it's going to go to somebody else. All right? So, get a drink of water there. All right? So I'm telling you these things about mentally preparation, because if you don't prepare yourself mentally for what God has, then you won't be able to handle what He's getting ready to give to you. Okay? Now, always, always, always understand your purpose. All right? As a child of God, always, always, always understand your purpose. Okay? And remember, I'm not going to go back into the detail of that because we covered a whole impact training on our purpose. So as we talked about as children of God, that we need to stop looking for our purpose, stop running after every conference looking for your purpose, because as a child of God, your purpose was given by the one who made you. The one who made you was God, and He created you for a threefold purpose. That is to glorify Him, to witness to the lost, and to defeat the work of the enemy. That's it. That's your purpose. And everything you do, everything that you're called to do has to make one of those 3 things happen. Okay? That's just the way it is. So we won't linger there. I'm not going to spend a lot of time there because I only have a certain amount of time on here tonight, and I want to make sure I get to the finance piece. Okay? So mentally, remember, you got to start before you're ready. You got to change the way you think. You've got to see yourself as a visionary. If you don't see yourself as a visionary, no one else will either. If you're not confident about your business, if you're not confident about your ministry, if you're not confident about the career that God has called you to do and say now it's time for you to step out and do that, then no one else will be either. I don't know how to tell you that. I don't know how to make that any plainer. Okay? Be confident about what He's called you to do. Okay? Now I want to begin to move to the finance. I want you to do this. If you're taking notes, let me show you this is the way that God gave this to me. And I want to show you this in my notes. I hope you can see it. Okay? If you're taking notes, I want you to draw an arrow down from everything I just said. All right? Draw an arrow. Okay? A downward arrow. Okay? And then I want you to write these words beside the arrow. I'm going to tell you what these words are. They're over here. I'm going to tell you what these words are in just a second. But I want you to write these words. You ready? Begin to build your seed. Begin to build your seed. All right? Let me give you a few minutes to write that, or not a few minutes, but a couple seconds to write that down. I'm going to check and see if there are any questions, okay? Begin to build your seed. All right. Sheila said to swipe left or right to see the comments. All right. Swipe left to reveal comments. I did that, Sheila, but they're still not showing up. Okay. They're showing up on my computer, but they're not showing up here. I'm not exactly sure what that little button is right there. I'm scared to push that button because I don't know what it is. All right. Now, so begin to build your seed. All right. Now, what does that mean? What that means is this. Now I'm shifting to the finance, shifting from mental to finance. Y'all with me? All right. Now, I have an iPhone, Roberta. I have an iPhone. So here's what I mean. Because you are so talented, and because you are so gifted, and because God has blessed you with so many gifts, so many talents, so many abilities, everybody, I shouldn't say everybody, but a lot of people will want to pull you into what they are doing. And what happens there is that your vision never gets built because you're spending so much time building someone else's vision. Now, the only way you can be successful financially in building your vision is if you begin to build your own seed. What that means is that whatever God has planted in the inside of you, whatever seed he's planted on the inside of you, then you need to build it. Okay? Whatever he has birthed, and I want to give you the scripture here. Whatever he has birthed on the inside of you, then you need to begin to build it. This is a scripture that the Lord just brought to me about building and birthing. Okay, about him putting a seed on the inside of us and us birthing what that is. Because so many times we doubt. And the reason why sometimes we're not profitable, or why we're not successful, or why we're not seeing that abundance, or why we're just plain old downright not making money, is because we're doubting what God puts on the inside of us. Now I'm shifting to the financial piece. I'm still quasi-mental and getting to financial. But you've got to learn to build your own seed. I want you to write this scripture down. And somebody can put this in the chat for me. It's Isaiah 66:9. Isaiah 66:9. And it reads, "Shall I bring to the point of birth and not give delivery? Says the Lord. Or shall I who gives delivery shut the womb? Says your God." So what does that mean? That means God is not going to give you something to birth, and then don't allow you to birth it. Okay? He's not going to give you something to birth and then not allow you to birth it. So if he's giving you something, if he's giving you something in your heart, he's giving you a business, he's giving you a ministry, he's telling you to go to that next step in your career, and you're not doing it because you're fearful, or you're not doing it because you're procrastinating, or you're not doing it because you say you don't have time, or you're not doing it because you say, well, I can't do it at this particular time in my life, then don't blame it on God, because the word tells us that when he puts something in you, it will be birthed. Okay, he's not going to be the one that gives delivery and then shuts up the very thing that delivers what he's given them. But you've got to plant the seed. You've got to build the seed. You've got to nurture the seed. If you don't do that, and that starts with your mindset, if you don't do that, then the thing that God has placed on the inside of you to grow and to develop and to bring forth, it's not going to happen. All right? Or you'll slow it down, or you'll get frustrated. I'm telling you this because I've been through it. I'm telling you this because I totally understand what it's like when you're working full time and God has given you a vision. When you're working full time and God has given you a vision, and you say, God, how can I do that? I don't know how. How can I make that happen? I work full time, or I have a child, or I'm doing this, or I'm doing that. Lord, please help me. How can one day I was just like laid out on my floor. Because, and this was before I actually stopped working. This was before May. Actually, it was before January. And actually it was in December of, not December of 2016, December of 2015. All right, December 2015. I laid on my floor and I said, God, I know you not only you showed me abundance in everything that I put my hands to. That's your word. That's your word, God. You showed me that abundance. And I know what you show me in terms of vision. But God, how am I going to do it here while I'm working full time? I mean, I just didn't know. I couldn't figure it out because I worked all day and I came home whipped. I mean, I came home just tired. And I'll tell you what, I came home tired, not because I was really kind of physically tired, but I was brain tired. I didn't have any more to give from my brain to what God had called me to do. But I kept on doing it, but I was literally began to run on empty. I mean, I was literally running on empty. And then God gave me a revelation at the beginning of 2016, and it was bigger. It was bigger, Bigger, that he was going to do bigger for me in 2016. And then something happened. Literally when God gave me that, I did a Periscope teaching on bigger, okay? God gave me that. And literally only a few days after that, bigger happened. And God pushed me into doing my calling full time. And then I began to think about, how was I ready? Was I actually ready and prepared for this? Because I'll be frank with you, I didn't think I was ready and prepared. But then God began to show me how, getting a comment in here, then God began to show me how he had already prepared me. So when the person asked this question about profitability, I couldn't talk about money profitability without talking about being profitable from a mindset first. See, I had to be profitable in my mind long before I ever became profitable with dollars. Okay? There was a certain mindset. I couldn't get discouraged when I wasn't making money. Okay? Or wasn't making money doing this. I couldn't get discouraged. Okay? I had to continue. Because if I would have gotten discouraged 3 years ago, because you have to remember, here's part of my journey. And now I'm going to go straight into the dollar piece. Okay? I started this company 3 years ago while I was working. Okay? I started the company 3 years ago while I was working. And I did several things I'm going to tell you about in the finance piece I think you need to do. If you want your company to be profitable and you want to be profitable faster, then you need to do certain things. I'm going to tell you what those are tonight. Things I did and things that my colleagues have done. There are several of us that are doing this full time now. And we enjoy doing it full time. And we're being profitable. We're making lots of money doing it full time. All right. But we put a lot into it beforehand. We planned. All right. We prayed. We fasted. All right. We took God's word and made sure that our businesses were founded on the word of God. We just didn't start doing things out there. Because I will tell you, if your business isn't built on the word, if you're a believer, if you are a believer, okay, put that in there. If you're a believer and your business is not built on the word of God, then you're gonna have some struggles, because you're always gonna have forces that are opposing. All right, you're always gonna have forces that are opposing. That's why that I don't partner with everybody. All right, I don't partner with everybody in business. I don't go speak everywhere. There are certain things that I just don't do, because I'm not going to compromise the faith area of my business. I'm not going to compromise what my company was founded on. All right? So now, again, remember, moving into the finance, all right, you've got to build your own seed. All right? You've got to do whatever it takes to build your seed. You've got to think about generating income differently. All right. You got to think about generating income differently. All right. Now, here's something I need to dismiss for all of you ministry-minded folk out there. All right. All you ministry-minded folk. I love y'all because I'm a ministry-minded person. All right. But here's something right here. You ministry-minded people that feel like just because, and don't y'all get mad at me. I had this conversation today with somebody. Somebody called me and needed some information about, she's getting ready to start a church. So she called me about some information about that. And I tell her, my ministry It's profitable. Okay. Don't throw things at me through the thing there. Okay. I don't serve a God of lack. So the ministry, the ministry, people think you listen to the Vision Building Institute, you listen to the teaching, and you say, well, the Vision Building Institute is a ministry. Okay. The Vision Building Institute is founded and has as its foundation the Word of God. The Vision Building Institute is faith-based, but the Vision Building Institute is a for-profit company. Okay? So many times we want to make money, but we do everything from the name of ministry's sake. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. But there's also nothing wrong with having a faith-based business. And that's what I have. So you have to understand, you've got to have your mindset correct. Now let me tell you something. Getting to this point of having a faith-based for-profit company took me almost 8, maybe 9 months, almost a year maybe, to get that mindset. My business mentor, when I would talk with her, I would just say, well, it's ministry and I can't, oh my goodness. She would fight me tooth and nail. And I'm looking at the screen right here and I can see somebody who was actually in that coaching with me. And she actually saw that. But my business mentor would fight me tooth and nail and she would say, Saundra, yes, it can be faith-based. It can be biblical. There are all kinds of things. But ministry can also be profitable. Why would a God who has everything want you to not have a for-profit, something that would give you the ability to create wealth? Okay? So how do you get there? How do you get there? What do you need? What did I do financially? So let me give you that. What did I do financially? Okay, this is where most people struggle. Well, let me give you, I wrote them on this page. Let me give you those 5. I have 7 things that I did financially. First of all, you have to work on your finances. And now, I'm not talking about your business finances. I'm talking about your personal finances. You must work on your personal finances. And you say, well, Saundra, what does that mean? Work on my personal finances. This kind of rolls into number 2. If you can't handle your personal finances well, if you are in a lot of debt and you keep spending, why would God allow you to step into something that is a big vision and you can't handle the household that you have well? Let me just let that kind of sit. Let me let that kind of sit while I look at the comments. Make sure y'all ain't yelling at me. All right? And make sure y'all not yelling at me. Okay? Yes. 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 Y'all are getting it. Amen. Amen. All right? You must be able to handle your own finances well. Now, I will be the first to admit, I am not the greatest person with money, but my husband is. All right? My husband literally paid off everything. Everything. When I say we paid off everything, we live well below our means. Could we have a huge 5,000 square foot house? Of course we could. Could we have the Beamers and the Mercedes outside? Of course. Do we choose not to do that? Yes, we choose not to do that because we don't need it. Our house is small. Well, it's small compared to other people's houses. All right? Our house is small, but it's what we need, and it's paid off, and it's ours. So when I got ready to do this work full time, we didn't have to worry about a mortgage. We didn't have to worry about car payments because we pay cash for our cars. We didn't have to worry about a whole lot of things because we know the finances in our house. You have to handle your house well. And women that are married, you and your husband need to come together on your finances because your finances, it's a household thing. Household. Now I'm getting ready to say something. Some of y'all going to tell me this is none of my business, but I need to say it. Okay? I need to say it. If you're married, and you and your husband are doing separate kinds of things, and you have your money and he has his, and you're not putting the money together for the financial part, I'm not telling you that you're wrong. What I'm telling you is, how are you going to work a business that way? You can't. It's difficult. Because when you become one, all right, when you become one, that means your finances too. That means your finances too. Okay? Let me see if anybody's hollering at me about that right there. Now, if you agree with me, let me know. If you don't agree with me, let me know. I see Vanessa. I thank God for my husband and wisdom He has given him with our finances. He's in partnership with you. Okay? Ladane, amen. Debrew, yes. Kimberly, if you are, you repeat, if you're honest steward of your finances, God would not allow you to have more than you can handle. That's right. I mean, that's just the way it is. You want to be profitable, but how can you be profitable if you're not even profitable in your own house? You need to have a savings. You need to have a savings. Let me say it again. And I'm not talking $200 or $300. And I'm not trying to be ugly about this. I'm trying to be real about this. Because so many times people say, well, I get me a grant for my business. If you've gotten a grant for your business, let me know. Let me know what kind of grant you gotten for your business. You may have gotten a loan for your business, but a loan and a grant are two different things. A loan puts you in debt. A loan puts you in debt. Okay? I'm not speaking against them because people need them. All right? I'm not speaking against it at all. But what I'm saying is a loan and a grant are not the same thing. All right? You have to handle your own finances well. You need to know your finances. If somebody came to you right now and asked you, how much would it take to pay off everything that you owe? What would be your answer? Do you know it? Do you know what it would take right now? I mean, down to the cents. Do you know what it would take to pay off every single thing that you owe? I remember when the late Bishop Eddie Long asked that question on television. And I never went to his church, but I watched him on TV. And he asked that question. He said, how much would it take? I want everybody, he told it on television. He said, I want everybody to bring back on the next, I guess it was the next Sunday or next Wednesday or whatever, the exact amount, everything that you owe, everything. Bring that number back. And then my husband and I began to think, what is it that we owe? Do we know everything that we owe? At that time we didn't, but we got it. We figured it out and we wrote it down. And you can't begin to do anything about your finances if you don't know the total picture of your finances. You see, you can't do your house well. You can't do a business well. You can't do a ministry well. You can't even begin to look for a career to get more money in a career if you haven't taken care of your own household finances. Okay, let me leave that one because I think y'all might be getting a little mad at me. Ooh, okay. Debrew, am I doing all right? Because Debrew, you know, you're the finance queen. LaShawna Debrew is the finance queen. She's on here. She is the virtual CFO. And she knows. Okay? All right? Now. Okay, I'm just looking at something here. Yes. Savings. You got to have savings. Oh, let me say. Somebody's asked a question. Kimberly's asking, if your spouse is not responsible financially, how is that a successful scenario? I have this conversation with people often. If your spouse is not the one that's good at finances, okay, that's a very good question. If your spouse, your husband, if you're whichever, your husband, if you're a woman, and if you're a man watching this, your wife, if they're not good at finances, then stop letting them handle it. Sit together and do a budget. And figure out what does the household need. Put each other on a spending plan. All right. I've told people countless times, I got an allowance. Still get one. I get so much money per month. All right. I know where everything's going in our house, but I get so much money per month. You see, you have to understand, I'm okay with that. And my husband gets the same thing. He gets so much money per month. Bradley gets so much money per month. And everything else goes to different pockets to where it's supposed to go. All right? But the thing about it is, if your spouse is not the one that is doing well with the finances, then the two of you need to sit down together and figure out what it's going to take you to the next level in your finances. All right. If he's a spender, all right, if he's a spender person, likes to spend, then put a rule in place. We don't spend for something if it's over $100 or it's over $50. We come together and we agree on that before it's spent. Okay? You've got to do something. Because you know what? If you go into a business and your husband is spending over here, and you might need some money for your business, and he might start taking something from the business, come on, you've got to have that in place first. You've got to have that in place first. Let me keep going. Because, oh my goodness, y'all, I'm after the time again. I'm doing it again. Okay, I'm only on number 2. I said number 1 was you must work on your finances and your money now. Number 2 is if you can't handle your business finances, you can't handle your business finances properly if you can't handle your household finances. Number 3, I'm just going to say this one and go, that everything should be from a biblical perspective. All right, handle everything from a biblical perspective. That means you must store up, which means you need a savings account. Don't let anybody tell you you're going to go out there and get all this money for your business, because most people won't even give you a business loan if you haven't been in business for a certain amount of time. If you don't show that you've been doing something, people aren't going to give. And people say, well, I've got money for a startup. A startup is usually somebody that's been in business 1 to 3 years. That's a startup. Okay? You can go out and get some education for free. You can go out and learn some stuff for free. But most people aren't going to give you business loans without showing something that you have already done in the business. Okay? That's just the way it works. All right? That's just the way it works, y'all. I'm not trying to be ugly. I ain't trying to be mean. I'm just trying to tell y'all. So many people think it works one way, but that's just not the way it works. Okay? Now, so store up. Please, please, please have a savings account. Put some money in it every time you get paid. Every time. And I know for some people it might be difficult because, you've got other bills, you've got other responsibilities. Well, let me tell you something. If you've got other bills, you've got other responsibilities, then it might not be time that you start the business right now. Because let me tell you something. God is not going to give you a vision and then trick you with lack. All right? God, somebody need to put that in the chat room. That's deep. God will not give you a vision, a huge vision, and then trick you with lack. Meaning that he's not going to give you something for you to do that you don't have the means to do it. You may have to get to the point where you have the means to do it. The means to do it may mean that you need to clean up where you already are financially so that you can do what he's telling you to do. Sometimes God gives us things to do so we'll clean up other places in our life. Okay? I'm trying to stay calm tonight. I'm trying to stay, not get all excited tonight, because this is so important, y'all. So many times we don't move forward with what God calls us to do because we miss the mark financially. And sometimes we miss the mark financially because we didn't go into it with the right mindset. Okay? Now, that was number 4. Number 5, seek financial counsel. Seek financial counsel. I cannot tell you, this is so important. Don't start something. Don't go into something if you have not sought financial counsel. I'm not talking about financial counseling. I'm talking about go to a CPA that knows about some business. All right? Don't go to somebody who started a business and ask them what to do. All right? This is one thing I learned from my daddy. All right? My daddy always told me that you go to the people who it's their business. They are the best and they're the learned people in that area. And he used to tell us, why in the world would I call a doctor to put out a fire? I'm going to call the fire chief. It's what he would always tell us, right? So why would you go and talk to somebody about finances, about how to set your business up financially, and they're not even doing well, right? We went to a CPA. A certified public accountant. That's who we went to. He helped us he told us what to do from a tax perspective. We did that. He told us how much we had to pay on taxes. All right, because he was the man that did our personal taxes, so he knew our financial status already, and so he told us how to do taxes, all that sort of stuff. I mean, so those are the kinds of things that we knew. Okay, those are the kinds of things that we knew we had to do. You've got to pay taxes. I had a conversation with somebody today. She was telling me. She said, Saundra, she said, when you get a seed, what do you call it? Seed money, I guess you call it, from someone when they give you a love offering, do you count that as income? Yeah, I do. All right. When somebody gives you a seed offering, that's income, or love offering. That's why people end up in jail, because they don't report that stuff. All right. Because remember, the Vision Building Institute is a for-profit company. So when somebody writes me a check for some teaching I did, or for a class I did, or for whatever, then that is income to Saundra, and you have to report on that. Financial counsel will tell you that. That's why everybody wants everything to be a ministry, so they don't necessarily have to report things financially, but it doesn't work that way either. You have to know the rules behind what you're trying to do financially. All right? Don't just think that you know them. And here's the thing. Don't go off what somebody else is telling you. Get the knowledge from the experts. That's one of the things that we did. All right? We sought financial counsel. We got knowledge from experts. Okay? Experts. I can't show this to you on the screen here, but we use software that operates our company. We use QuickBooks, and we paid a financial expert. We paid her, and she was a coach, and she set up QuickBooks and our credit card and PayPal all together. They're all tied in together. So whenever I swipe my credit card to go purchase something, all right, then it automatically shows up in QuickBooks. Whenever someone pays for a class, it automatically shows up in QuickBooks. You have to get your finances straight. Keep in mind, how can I expect to be profitable if I can't take care of successfully the money that's in the company? Or how can you expect God to continue to bless your ministry if you're not doing well with the money that he's already given you, or he's already put in front of you? You've got to do right with what you have. You've got to do right, even if it's small. Some of you say, well, Saundra, I don't have a lot of money. I can't afford QuickBooks. Then make sure that Excel spreadsheet that you can do, all right, everybody can do an Excel spreadsheet. Make sure that Excel spreadsheet is right. All right, so that when you report your taxes, all of that stuff is correct. Now, again, I am not a tax professional. What I'm telling you is Saundra's experiences based on what Saundra's learned. But you go to your tax professional. I told the lady today who called me and told me that she was ready to start a church. She was ready to start the church. And I'm like, you can't start that church tomorrow. There's some things you can do. You can start a Bible study, but you can't start the church tomorrow. There's some things that you have to get done. I even gave her my ministry mentor's name and said, look, you need to call this lady and Apostle, because she can tell you exactly what you need to do and who you need to see. Okay? One of the things that we talk about in the Vision Building Institute is we talk about the vision team. You have to have a vision team, and part of your vision team needs to be somebody from your finance perspective. Okay? Needs to be somebody financial. You need an attorney. You need to be able to get legal information. Don't get legal information from somebody that has a catering business. Let me give you a secret. They're not attorneys. They may not know the law. So what did I do to walk completely in my calling financially? I made sure I had the right people that could give me the right information. Okay? Right people to give me the right information. I know this is not the usual impact training that you all are used to, but you know what? So many times we fail, or our businesses or our ministries or our career doesn't go in the path that we want it because we're getting the wrong information. Tonight, I want to equip you with the right kind of information so that you can keep moving forward on what you're doing. All right. Now, that was number 5. Let me give you number 6 and number 7, and then we will call it a night. Okay. Number 6, have a financial plan. You say, you have no idea how many times I've heard this. You say, I want to make $100,000 this year, but you have no plan to get there. If you have $100,000, if you want to make $100,000, let me tell you how that breaks down. $100,000 a year is $8,333 per month, is $2,083 per week, and $297 per day. All right? That's how it breaks down if you are going to make $100,000 in the ministry, in the business, or wherever you're going. Okay? That's how it breaks down. So what is your plan to get there? If you are a caterer, how many catering functions do you have to make such that this month you can make $8,333? I know exactly what I have to do to make the end goal that I have to meet by the end of the year, by the end of the month, by the end of the week. Okay? I know exactly how much I have to bring in every single day to make a specific monthly goal. Now, do I do it every single day? No, because there are some days I'm making more than that. If I sign a huge contract, that could take care of 2 or 3, sometimes even 4 and 5 months, depending on how large the contract is. We've had contracts that's taken care of the whole year. All right? So what I'm trying to tell you is this. You have to have a financial plan. You have to know how you're going to get the money that you want to get financially. You can't just say, I want to make $100,000 and you have no plan to get you there. Let me let that seep in while I see if y'all have any questions. Okay, I'm going back to the computer here. Okay. Kimberly, somebody's asking, what was number 2? Number 2 was, you can't handle your business finances if you're not handling your household finances well. All right. Number 6, yeah, that was a financial plan. Thank you so much, Kimberly. Taisha asked me, was the CPA the same person who set up your QuickBooks, etc.? No, not the same person. The person that set up my QuickBooks, never met her. Never met her. Never saw her face to face. She lives in Boston. She's a coach and she does this kind of work. She's helped people put $1 million financial plans together, and that's what she did for us. And can I be honest? She put together $1 million financial plan for, a $1.2 million financial plan for us, and that's what we're working towards. Now, will we be millionaires at the end of this year? Nobody knows that but God. I have no idea. Will this be a $1 million company? I can't say that it will, but what I can say is that my number 6, there is a plan to get there. There's X number of coaching packages. There's X number of speaking engagements. There's X number of things that have to happen, but you got to have those in place. Just doing stuff for the sake of doing stuff isn't going to work, y'all. You have to have a financial plan. So the question, and the person who asked this question, you know who you are. I'm not going to call you out. You know who you are if you're over in Vision Quick Start. Okay. But the person who asked me about profitability, you are profitable when you have a plan and your plan shows that profitability. I know if I'm profitable at the end of every single month because my husband prints me out a report. My husband takes care of all the money, but I'm the CEO, so I'm the one ultimately responsible. Okay, so he prints me out a report every single month, and I know whether or not this company was profitable. And did we reach the profitability that we had? But that's because you can't reach profitability until there's a plan to get to profitability. Okay, profitability is based on planning. Profitability is based on that you have a firm foundation. Profitability means you have some money stored up when things are dry. How many of you, even if I were to ask you this, how many of you know what it takes to run your business every month? If you were to start a business, and say you're already in business or you're already in ministry, what is the dollar and cents amount that it takes to run your business every month, your ministry every month? Okay. Now, if you couldn't answer the household question that I asked before, you probably definitely can't answer this one. Again, you've got to take care of your own household well before you start doing other places. Okay, that was number 6. You must have a financial plan. Now, those people that are in Vision Quick Start, part of what they're going to do for their particular launch that they're working on, they're going to be doing a financial plan for that launch. They're going to leave, and once you do a financial plan once, it's the same thing every time. It's the same process, not the same dollar, not the same amount, but it's the same process every time. Now, the last one, this is number 7 in terms of what I had to do. And I'm not saying this because I am one. I'm saying this because it's necessary. Get a coach. Get someone to help you. All right? I would have had no idea what it would take to make a $1.2 million plan if I did not have that coach from Boston to help us do it. I would have no idea what it takes to be in the business that I'm in had I not, in 2013, stepped out and invested, at that time, over $1,000 just for a class. That was just for a class. And then while I was there, and I'm just telling y'all this, I can't tell you, I'm not going to tell you something because I want you to think I'm spending a lot of money. I'm telling you because in order to get here, there had to be some investments made. I'm not saying that you have to do it, but women that invest in themselves, they move faster. The women that work with me, they're moving fast. And the more you invest, the higher level you invest, the more you get of me. Okay, the more you get of my time, the more you get of me looking at your specific stuff. All right, and you just move faster. All right. When I invested in that class, then she had a coaching program that was $9,997. I called my husband because I had never spent that much money before on something like that. And I didn't really know what it was. But you know what? My husband said, there's a gift in you that needs to come out. He said, write the check. I wrote the check. She took me further in 1 year than I could have ever even thought about going. Okay? Never even thought about going that way. And then I invested again. And the next time I invested, I won't tell you what, yes, I will. It was the program was $25,000. But I invested that because I wanted those kind of results. Had I not done that, I wouldn't be ready for what I'm doing today. Now, why am I telling you this? It's because so many people complain about a $97 program. People complain or they say they don't have that money. But you know what? If you don't have it, I understand. I thoroughly, completely understand. I was talking to somebody the other day, and she was telling me about that because we're getting ready to do something at church, and the cost of the book and the program is like $97. And so she was telling me that everybody didn't have that, and you may have to do payment plans. I totally understand that. Totally understand that. But you know what? I'm learning that when I don't have something, then I'm going to find a way to get it. And we got to start looking at our finances differently. You want to be profitable? Then you got to be profitable in your mind before you're profitable in your pocketbook. And the reason I'm telling you that I spent a lot on coaching is not because I want you to go out and spend the same thing or I'm bragging off of what I spent. No, that's not it. What I'm trying to get you to understand is that profitability has to do with what you're willing to do to make yourself profitable. All right? Are you willing to all the time be working? Are you willing to constantly launch new things? Are you willing to invest in yourself? And I still have coaches today. I'm still paying for programs. I just spent some money to go someplace in March. I spent money in December for a lifetime program so I could be with people. So I could be with people who know more than me, who can help take my mindset to another level. Again, people think profitability is about money, and it is. You do need a financial plan. You do need to know what do you have to do every single day to make money. You do have to have a plan in place. If you're a caterer, you need to know how many times you've got to sell something or cater events so that you can make X number of dollars by the end of the year. If you're in ministry and you want the ministry to be profitable, if you want to get paid for ministry, you need to know what you have to do. All right, what do I have to do? All right. And when one part of Vision Quick Start is that one of the things that we talk about in there is we talk about how you can take your giftings and how you can make money from your gifts. We've got people writing books. We have someone that's already finished an ebook and is getting ready to roll down that path of launching all that stuff out. We have someone who is in there who's doing videos. All right, doing videos and get ready to charge for those. We have somebody in there that's getting ready to start a whole business around helping people go to college. I mean, but that's because they've invested in themselves and they've taken that first step. Now, if they get everything they need from Vision Quick Start, I'll be very honest. You're not going to get everything from one class. I didn't. No one's going to get everything from one class, but you'll get what you need to go to that next step. So whatever your next step is, please do that. Please do it. Vision Quick Start doesn't open up again until April. Okay, I won't open it up. People have asked me that, and I won't open it up again until April. All right. But here's the thing that I want you all to know is that you have to be ready to walk in your calling mentally, spiritually, and financially. But everything starts. All right. Everything starts with the mindset that you are going to have to do the work to be profitable. So you see, profitability, it's about money. It's about money. But you have to have the mindset for that money. Because somebody said, I want to be profitable. I want to be profitable. All right. Then what are you doing in your mindset to make yourself profitable? Are you willing to go out? This is no joke. Someone told me the other week that they were getting ready to get everything they don't wear, and they were going to take it to Clothes Mentor, and they were getting rid of it, and they were going to sign up for this particular program. And I said, that's what you need to do. If that's what it takes, that's what you need to do. But what's his name? Dave Ramsey has this saying that he says that while you're trying to get debt free, you have to live like no one else so that you can live like no one else. And that's what my husband did. We cut off everything. Y'all, I was shopping at the bargain basement down over there in Cameron Village. Nothing wrong with it. Nothing wrong with it. While I was making six figures, because everything that we had was going into paying off everything, because we wanted to live like no one else so we could live like no one else. You've got to make a decision that if you're going to be profitable, that if you're going to live in abundance, that you've got to do some other things first. You've got to make up in your mind that I might not be able to go on vacation this year, because that $3,000 or maybe $1,000 that you're spending on vacation, then these are decisions. You asked me what it took to walk completely in my calling. I'm telling you, it took sacrifice. It took some sacrifice. I get my nails done all the time now, but there was a time I didn't. There was a time there'd be so much, what do you call it, new growth up in here. You can see the whites all the way up in here because they need to be done. But I couldn't get them done because that was not in the budget. Instead of getting my nails done every 3 to 4 weeks like I get them done now, I had to wait at one point when we had it mapped out because we were living like nobody else so we could live now like no one else. I was getting them done every 6 weeks. Y'all can imagine how much new growth I had in my nails. But it was because I had a mindset to do what needed to be done. Did I know at that time I was going to be doing this full time? Now? No, I didn't. So now, like I said, everything prepared me back then for profitability today. So profitability, I want you to know, yes, it is about dollars and cents. And yes, you can be profitable. But yes, first you have to have the mindset to be profitable. You have to have the mindset to be profitable. And then once you have the mindset, you can put together a plan and just work the plan. That's just dollars and cents. That's just actions on your part. Okay? That's just actions on your part. But I tell you this, and I give you this tonight, and I hope this was helpful for somebody. If this was helpful for somebody, please, let me see, show me some hearts across the screen. Let me see what kind of comments y'all got. Ooh. Amen, amen. I'm just excited because I know y'all are going to be doing some amazing things. I'm looking at comments. Wait a minute. I'm thinking it's, hold on. I think y'all are commenting more than I'm seeing. Okay, hold on just a second. Let me go back up here. I think y'all are commenting more than I'm seeing. As a matter of fact, I know you are because I see about 70-something comments written up here and I'm not seeing those. Okay. Okay, what are you willing to do? Find a way. It's not luck. It's about investing in yourself and your future. Yes, Lisa. Darlene says, what are you willing to do? Shirley says, investing in the gift. Oh, yes. Love it. Love it. Cheryl Thomas says, I'm not sure how to find that out. I'm not sure what you're not sure how to find out. Sure, you got to tell me. Oh, thank you for the hearts. Investing. DeBrew says that's true. Kimberly said these are the 7 steps of things that Dr. Williams had to do financially for her business. Yes, thank you, Kimberly, for putting all those in there. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Well, I'm going to stay on here. That's all I have for tonight, y'all. I was trying not to be all excited. I was really trying to just, and I know I stayed over. I can't never do this thing in an hour like I planned. Sometimes I've done it before. I have done it before. But tonight's teaching was really deep. Okay. Because profitability is something somebody can sit down, they can help you with, and something you can do. But if you don't have the mindset to be profitable, it's not going to happen. So what I'm going to do is I am going to make sure that there are no questions in here. I'm looking for questions. I think Kimberly has put up all of the steps that I did to be profitable. She's put all those in there. Thank you so much, Kimberly. I don't see any questions. Well, let me tell you this. If you do have questions, and I can't see them because of what's going on with my computer, my phone and everything. If you do, please put your questions inside the Vision Building Institute, and I will answer them. Okay? I'll answer them. Y'all, it's so important. I mean, let me get here for a second, and then we'll call it a night. And that is, I've been looking at a lot of the comments coming from the inauguration and people on Facebook. Y'all, know how to do something for yourself without having to depend on a job every day. If you didn't have your job tomorrow, and I'm saying the company doesn't belong to you. Some of you own your own companies, and that's great. That's yours, okay? But if you didn't have your major source of income tomorrow, what would you do? What plan do you have? All right? How could you be profitable with that? That's something that my husband and I looked at and did and had a plan for before I left in May. All right? So when I had to decide to leave last January, it wasn't a big deal. My husband told me to leave 3 years ago. But he saw what I could have actually done. He said leave then, but I didn't. That's neither here nor there at this point. But I'm just telling you this to tell you that there is so much that you all can be doing to work with the gifts, to create the abundance that you have. All right? And again, I know that tonight's teaching wasn't my normal impact teaching, but I'm telling you this to tell you tonight, if you're going to be profitable, if you're going to be in abundance, you got to have the right mindset for it. You got to stop thinking and living in lack. You got to invest in yourself. You got to take yourself to that next level. As my mentor told me, my spiritual mentor, Apostle Dr. Shirley R. Brown said, if I don't invest in me, no one else is going to invest in me. And that's time, talent, or resources. So many times we want people to spend time with us, and we want people to mentor us when you haven't invested in yourself. I don't know what to tell you, but that's just the way it is. Okay? I spend a lot of time investing in me because I am my biggest asset. I am my biggest asset. You are your biggest asset. So invest in you. Make yourself profitable by getting you the right mindset to be profitable, and then watch God do abundant things in you. Woo, ladies and gentlemen, it's been a night. It is 10:23. I appreciate everybody that's on here tonight. I thank y'all. I hope this blessed you. Remember, there will not be impact training on the 5th Sunday. I have to do some work for our fellowship on that Sunday. I'll be out of town. And instead of changing the date, we just won't have it. We'll just skip. I think last time we changed it to a Tuesday. But this time we're just going to not have it on next week at all. We're going to come back on the first Sunday in February. All right. So y'all have a wonderful, wonderful week. Remember, ask your questions. We'll try to get those answered. And again, I thank everybody for joining, and have a great week. Bye-bye.